Obviously, last week conditions were not favorable for you guys. What is it in those conditions from the offensive line's perspective that makes it difficult to get to where you guys are supposed to go and execute the way that you guys know you need to?
Well, the rain can make you a little bit one-dimensional if just with the ball slick, we want to be able to run the ball. So just defense knowing that you might be a little bit more run-heavy. So just kind of knowing what you're doing a little bit more that way can make it difficult.
I know Coach Cash was talking with you guys in the drills yesterday about we're going to have to move them. They've got a lot of size up front. What have you seen from their defensive front seven on film?
Yeah, so their front six is about stopping the run, and then the back five kind of want to take care of the pass a little bit more. So they do have a lot of size up front, built to stop the run. All their linemen are over 290, so definitely low pad level and trying to move them back.
Well, last thing you were mentioning here, last guaranteed game at Welch Stadium, what has this place meant to you for your Hornet football career?
Yeah, it's crazy. We're just at Pizza Ranch last night talking about how fast it was. Feels like we just moved into the dorms. But, I mean, it's been awesome, developed me into the man I am today, being a better leader, teammate, all those things. It's been really special, and I'll definitely remember this place for the rest of my life. So,
Landon.
Hey, Sherm, how tough is it? I mean, it's always tough to lose, but knowing the expectations y'all had on the season, what you guys ultimately want is still there, but the vibe's got to be at least a little bit different, I assume.
yeah, I mean, it just puts your back against the wall. Obviously, it was, tough loss for sure, but now you got to go 1-0. You have to win out, and just makes you that much more motivated to do it. Luckily, we still have everything in front of us. We can do everything we wanted to do. That hasn't been the case in the past, sitting at 7-2. So we're just looking for an opportunity to go win the whole thing.
And when it's a game that was kind of fluky like that, if you play A's 100 times, that's probably one of the worst outcomes. Does that change it at all, knowing hey, we know we're a lot better than that? It wasn't we got beat, we beat us kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you can say about it, but at the end of the day, that wasn't our brand of football that we played, and they got us, but that doesn't mean, like you said, it doesn't mean we're not a good football team. It doesn't mean it takes away what we've done the rest of the year. We've won a lot of tough games. It's definitely, I think, the toughest schedule in the country if you're in the MIAA this year. And so we've done a lot of good things. The week before that, we broke however many records, you know what I'm saying? So there's definitely not a lack of confidence. We just got to put it together and make sure we're ready to go on Saturday.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Cassie.
All right. Yep. Thank you, guys. Yep.
Well, last week, you guys didn't play the way that you wanted to play. First half of the season, you guys were really elite. The last three games, maybe not up to the standard. Do you feel like you can see or feel the difference or see the difference on film, whether it's in the game, on film, as to maybe the reason why you guys haven't played as well the last 3 weeks?
I think a little bit you can see it. I think a little bit of it is also just seems kind of like we lost our edge a little bit. We just need to find it these last two games. And it's not a lack of ability, obviously, or a lack of scheme or a lack of game plan. It's just guys just got to step in there and make plays like we did early that just some of those plays aren't being made right now. I think it's kind of what's happening to us.
Looking at, you mentioned the edge, and I don't know if you've told me, but several defensive guys have told me they haven't forgotten what the final score was last year against Central Missouri. How does that go in terms of providing you guys some edge? Not that you guys need it. There's, every game in the MIAA is big. You guys have big aspirations in those last two games, but in terms of that game specifically, what's the team discussion been about that on the defensive side of the ball?
Just to play our game, just to go play. Yeah, we're not going to forget what happened last year. Got embarrassed and trying to rewrite some wrongs for sure, but at the same time, we still have a lot to play for, even with 2 losses. There's a lot on the line, like you said, the MIAA, especially this year's crazy and all jumbled around. So there's a lot to play for, a lot on the line. And I'm sure they want nothing more than to knock us off of that, and our job is to just keep staying on course and go 1-0 this week.
Well, that's the only thing that you can control, and you can't necessarily control if you're going to be back here to this building. There's a chance if you go 1-0 twice that you could, but final question for you, what has it meant here is, maybe the last time, senior day at Welch Stadium, what's it mean to you in the senior class?
It means the world to me, and I'm sure I can speak on behalf of everybody too. I mean, we've put in a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and everything in between, for these last 4 to 5 and some guys 6 years. So just going out the right way is definitely something that's been on our mind, and I think we've had a good start to the week of practice. Go finish it today and tomorrow. But yeah, it's kind of surreal. It's finally kind of setting in a little bit. This will be the last time to be in the home locker room on game day and to play in front of Welch and play on Welch. And so it's, I've been lucky enough to play a lot of snaps, and so this last one will definitely be memorable for sure. And let's just try to go 1-0 like you said.
Landon.
Hey, Rafe, as someone who's been in this program for a long time, seeing how this team would win games in the past and how the defense has stepped up this season, how rewarding has that been for you?
I definitely think it's definitely got some reward. The main thing is winning the games. Giving up, Coach Lopo likes to say it, we just got to give up one less than our offense scores. Earlier in the season, that was less points, and lately, we've been rolling offensively, so it's not had to be that way. We just want to play good team complementary football. We were doing that early in the year. We got to find that again, kind of like what I was talking about with Blake. But definitely rewarding. It was a point of emphasis during the spring, during the off season, finding that, not relying on anybody else, kind of just taking the field with our own mindset. It doesn't matter if our offense scores 50 or 7. We're trying to win the game regardless. So just having that mindset, I think, has really been, and then executing it too, has definitely been, kind of putting your money where your mouth is a little bit. And it was definitely, it's been fun to have kind of been a part of that, the little bit of difference in Emporia State football.
And is there any bad blood between the defense and Zabrowski, knowing that he took away, Gleason's title of the Harlan Hill last year?
I don't know about bad blood. We definitely want to make him uncomfortable in the pocket and keep him in the pocket. He's a really good football player. We need to try to control him as best we can, and as a defensive lineman, want to try to get as many hits and sacks as we can. But I don't think that mindset's any different than what it is each and every week. But last year definitely we thought Braden was one of the best in the country, and he was, and so was Zabrowski. So let's see if we can go get one back for Coach Gleason now.
Awesome. Thanks, Ray.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man.
Yep.
Last week was not what you wanted. How do you feel like you as the coaching staff have diagnosed what went wrong, and most importantly, how the guys bounced back from last week?
I think they've bounced back from it. I think that, we talked about forgetting the event, just remembering the things. Well, I mean, take the things that we did and, learn from that experience because that was not indicative of who we are as a football team, football program. And, the thing about it is we've had to wait a while, but we get an opportunity to remedy that.
This week, your schedule was changed because of Election Day, and I know that there have been several coaches, some have posted on Twitter, TikTok, Division II coaches about
Right.
The off day being forced on Tuesday this week. How difficult is that to kind of move things around for a football team when you're used to doing things a certain way and having your off day on Mondays?
Yeah, I think it is difficult. I mean, football coaches, first off, they're creatures of habit. I've said that before, but I guess the way that we look at it is that, I definitely believe in the power to vote, and all of that is very important. But we're the only Division II, like the other schools, we're not doing it. I mean, not schools, but I mean the other divisions. So yeah, it is. We've made it work. We made it work last year, but it is difficult. I think our guys did a really good job of, adhering to the changes, and I felt like they've did a good job with it, and I think we've had a great week of practice. So I don't think it really affected us, except, we have to change how we game plan because, you got to go out and you got to practice longer on Monday, which is more like a Tuesday, and you're coming off, a tough loss. You got to watch that film. You got to get that, like I said, learn from those mistakes and move on. So, yeah, it was difficult, but we made it work.
Looking at Central Missouri, number one passing offense in the country, and a defense that is really, really big up front. So your thoughts on the Mules, and certainly seem to be playing some of the best football in the MIAA right now over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, no question. The score last week, them going on the road and playing Pitt on their senior day and playing the way they did is an indicator of that. And they're playing at a high level, and which they should. They got a lot of guys back from last year, starting with the Harlan Hill winner, their quarterback, and they put it all together last week. I know they've struggled in some games, but again, they're a very good football team, just like Fort Hays. I mean, a lot of teams in this league, the ball bounces one way, the wrong way, when you're staring at a loss. So, but they're playing at a very high level. They are a very, very dangerous team, and we're going to have to play so much better than we played last week. And, we're going to have to play at a very, very high level in all phases.
Landon.
Coach, you mentioned it wasn't your brand of football against Hayes. Can you take any kind of solace from that, knowing hey, we didn't play our best, but if we did, we'd had a different outcome?
Not really. I guess because I don't know. At the end of the day, I mean, Fort Hays is a good football team, and the disappointing thing is we weren't ready to play. And you say whatever you want, and that's our job as coaches to make sure they're ready to play. And then everybody's got to take ownership in that type of play. But we weren't. We let the elements affect us, and so there's really nothing to say if it was dry, we would have played. Hey, guess what? This is the hand we're dealt. We got to go out and play, and that's how you play the game of football. And it was just unfortunate we didn't show up last week. But I do always say that Hayes played a good game too. I'm going to give them credit where credit's due.
That's all I got, Coach.
You bet.
Senior days, you've had a lot of senior days. Just talk about this group as a whole a little bit.
Man, this is a great group. 26 of them, which is, it's kind of that last COVID group. Start with Tyler Common. Again, been here 6 years. Look at our captains; they're all seniors. Rafe Watkins, Riley Miller, Sherman Deaton, JJ. I named 6 right there, didn't I? Pretty sure I named all 6. LeVon Jones, yeah. All those guys, man. LeVon, again, another player that's been here. If you look at those captains, all those guys except JJ been here as high school recruits. And we pride ourselves on having that type of football program here. That's how we do things here. They've not only represented this football program the right way as far as their leadership. I think they've had a great week this week as far as how their leadership has been. And then on the flip side of that, I don't even know, there may be 9 of these guys working on their master's degree. They represent the football program the right way off the field too as well, and I'm just so proud of these guys. I love them. I mean it when I say that. They're so important to this football program. The longer that I've been here, every senior class, I love to see guys come back. This will be another one of those group of seniors that I will want to be able to see them. But at the same time, this group has something to do. They got an opportunity in front of them that's not been done around here, and they understand that. And I think it's been shown how they practiced this week.
Coach, how happy does it make you knowing a lot of those captains are guys that came in as high school recruits and were on the scout team and then worked their way up your way?
Every one of them. You're exactly right. Like I said, except JJ, and he's special because he's a transfer, but the way that he did it in such a short amount of time. That's what's impressive about him. The other guys, that's how you want it too, where those guys come in and they redshirt. They get to see the older guys because it's about the older guys showing the younger guys about what leadership is about, and just understanding that they want to, when those older guys leave, they want things to be passed down to those younger guys that really exemplify what our culture is about, and that's why it is important. And that's why we have the type of culture that we have here. And I know that word gets used a lot, overused, but I believe in it here. And I truly do. And that just is a credit to the players that are here, this group, and it's a credit to these coaches that are here. Because at the end of the day, everything, it does start with me, but everything, they have to go out and make believers in the players as far as them believing in what we do here. And along with the older players. So, these guys have come up through the ranks. They have come up through the ranks. Time flies. Doesn't seem. I found some old pictures of Tyler Common when he committed here. He was about 20 pounds lighter. Looked like he's about 15. Maybe just got his driver's license. I'd never and at that time did not realize what type of career he was going to. And it's not done yet. What type of career he was going to have here.
6 years later, yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
All right, thanks, Coach.
You bet. And I was in the picture, and I had a lot darker hair as well. All right, see you guys.